Hi gang, we're back with 2.3. I made a little note to you guys that I meant to say indeterminate form here. I think I made up a word, but I should have said indeterminate. There must be something special in my coffee this morning. Okay, so make sure you know that. And also, just because I am very new to filmmaking, I noticed I sort of didn't give you the full beautiful picture on this. So this is that graph I drew for you earlier. Okay, just in case you wanted to see it. All right, so onward. We're going to do technique number 2 for indeterminate form. So before I do this problem, I just want to show you that this will come out as indeterminate. So if I plug 0 into here, okay, so if I plug 0 into here, you can indeed see that we're going to run into the indeterminate form, which is a problem, okay? And I mentioned earlier that most of the time you just have to employ some sort of technique or tool that this indeed has a limit. So if you have a radical, the technique you want to use is to rationalize. And what rationalize does is it moves the radical to the other side. So please just catch this, what I'm about to say. The radical could be in the numerator and you're moving it to the denominator, or the radical could be in the denominator and you're moving it to the numerator, okay? It's just, you're moving it to the other side. And how you move it to the other side is you multiply by its conjugate. So the conjugate of the radical part of this numerator is going to be almost identical to this, except the center part here, the sign has to be opposite. Okay, so I'm multiplying by the conjugate. I've showed you that this is indeterminate. Let me see if I can make a little space on this page. Okay, 1 second. There we go. All right. So here we go. Now, this is a FOIL, okay? I'll write out all the steps so you can see it if you're not quite sure. This radical times this radical, that will cancel out the radical. And don't lose the limit because we're not plugging in yet. We're just modifying. Okay, the radical times the radical is going to give you x squared plus 9. Now the radical times the 3. Since it's a radical and a non-radical, it's just going to stick out front, the 3. All right, now this times this, the negative 3 times this. Again, it's a radical and a non-radical, which means they just glue together. And then the negative 3 times the 3, which is minus 9. Okay, now this part's going to get a little tricky. The other side, you do not want to distribute this. And you'll see why in a moment. It might not make sense at this second, which is fine, but you do not want to distribute this. So pay attention to why I did not distribute that. You're going to see a particular pattern that's going to always happen with this. Okay. So here we go. Let's keep working on this guy. All right. These, and when you combine like terms, those cancel. Also, these will cancel. Right? You see that? We combine like terms. Now notice what's left. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the guy next door, wow, he's got a really loud tool he's using. He's sort of part of my show today. Okay, Now this is real important. This is why I was trying to say earlier, and you won't notice it until you do a couple of them, but you don't want to, the side that you're moving the radical to, you never want to distribute in. And hopefully now you can catch why you don't want to do that. Because you're going to get that this is going to reduce like this. Okay, and now, once we've moved the radical to the other side, once we've rationalized, now I try to plug in again. So remember in the beginning when I plugged in, I got 0 over 0. I'm now going to plug in again. I'm going to lose the limit now because I'm plugging in. Okay, so now I'm going to get 0 plus 9 is 9, square root of 9 is 3, and then I'm going to add it to a 3, so I'm going to end up getting 1 over 6. And that's the limit, right? This has an answer. It's 1 over 6. Okay, gang, so again, if you have a radical that's coming out as indeterminate, not all radicals will come out as indeterminate. So only when it comes out as indeterminate, you multiply by the conjugate, you FOIL, you simplify, make sure you don't multiply out, distribute the other side, and then once you've cleaned that up the best you can, you go ahead and plug in the value at the limit and then see what you get. Okay, gang, I hope that went well. So this again is technique number 2 I'm teaching you for indeterminate forms. I'll catch you again in the next video. We'll talk a little bit about indeterminate forms and trig. Okay, bye-bye.